Alright, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Ackley Arens. Yes, I'm still wearing the same shirt and whatever from yesterday because I was in my pajamas yesterday and I'm still in my pajamas today. So yes, I'm gonna react to a mukbang. It's Stephanie Sue's. I love her because she likes to talk about serial killers and like murders, and I'm really into that. Good. That's what I'm reacting to, but y'all can't see it because I'm doing a mukbang. So I'm gonna call this a listening reaction mukbang. Boom, got the title right there, and I'm gonna play it. And here we go.
I might actually be going back to Korea in like a month or two, so we'll see. You guys might get more Korean mukbangs, but here we have a steaming bowl of delicious glass noodle pho. I brought home, you don't even know how much glass noodles. These extra wide, these are the widest glass noodles that you can get. We've got beef balls, we've got beef tripe, brisket, filet mignon, bean sprouts, cilantro, onions. We've got 2 pork sausage, fried egg, hand spring rolls, bitch. We've got some cream cheese wonton, some fried chicken egg rolls, and let's just get started. Also, my fiance is feeling under the weather, so I decided to be the most amazing fiance and Postmates fuss, so he might actually be taking a little bit more and just like make his own bowl because I am someone, okay, well, we'll get into my crazy tendencies once we get started, but I don't know if you want to take some. I even brought this for you.
Yes, please.
I am the last person that you want to get sick because you will never hear the end of it. Like, I am into prevention. If you try to get me sick, bitch, it's game over, okay? I hate getting sick. I think, like, everybody does, but I'm, like, super crazy about not getting sick. Like, you will think that you slapped my mom's titty if you got me sick. Like, that's how upset I would be. Okay, we just went through a journey, guys. I will talk about it in a second, but I'm just gonna take my first bite of these glass noodles. I just want to get like a glass noodle bowl. Like, oh.
Have you had these?
Maybe y'all want to know what I'm eating. So, I got some little Caribbean food. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I got some cabbage. I never do a mukbang. All this is food is going to be gone by the time I do a mukbang. Whatever. I mean, thumbnail. Got some cabbage. Got some rice. I have some wings from yesterday that my mom bought. Got some plantains or however you want to say it. For me to be Caribbean or whatever, I don't really care for plantains. Or my cousin and like my mom and them love plantains. Like, I eat them, but it's not something that I'd be like, oh, give me some more plantains. You know? Back to the video. Okay. So these wings were like, they had like cheese on them. I really don't know why they had cheese on them. But I put buffalo sauce on them because I felt like they needed some seasoning. And then these are lemon pepper wings. Back to the mukbang. Me reacting.
Never. Missing out.
Oh wow, it's good.
Did I say this was cabbage? I don't even like cabbage, but I love these type of cabbage.
It's so weird because I eat glass noodles, like the thinner version. I'm pretty sure it's like made out of the same stuff, just a lot skinnier. But this tastes so much better that it's a little chunky, you know, she a little thick or whatever.
I love these cabbage.
Honestly, so good. It tastes so much better than I had to wait for it because my dad almost got stuck in Korea. He's moving back to the States. He went to the airport, almost got stuck there. It's a long story. I'll talk about it on my other channel, but we just had to make sure that he was going to clear and that he had a flight to get on to. It was so ridiculous. Cream cheese ragout. But we're just going to hop right into today's story. Do you like the pho with the glass noodles or with the rice noodles?
I think original is still the best. But this is...
It's good.
It's very different.
I feel like sometimes if you have too much stuff in one sitting, the rice noodles can get a little bit boring, but these are really fun. They're like so textury and bouncy, and they don't feel like mushy. Like you won't just like put it in your mouth and be all mush.
I hate mushy noodles. But I saw here. No, I didn't see it. Like, I promise you, like I saw them. It could have been mine.
Definitely a lot messier though. But it's just good.
My stomach hurts so bad.
It is spicy.
Can I get some egg rolls and regular?
Yeah. Here. I'll get you more egg rolls. Here's a spring roll. Here's 2 ragoons.
Thank you.
She's being not so generous with the ragoons. They were really good. So today's story is based in an area where I previously lived. Yes, we are going to be talking about a true crime that happened in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood area, and it involves a massive film producer. Egg roll? Oh my god. So good.
I really don't know how mukbangs work, and I watch them all the time.
If you live in LA and you hear that somebody is dating a film producer, that's like the equivalent of them winning the lotto. Like you've hit the jackpot.
Are you sure? Why? Why you say that?
Because like to date an actor, you probably are an actress already, and then actors are known for like cheating on you with their nannies or like on set.
Producers in the Hollywood business too.
That's true, but usually they're a little bit more faithful. They got a lot of big bucks, you know. Sometimes producers be making more money than the main actors and actresses in a movie. So I'm just saying that's what a lot of people think is like the jackpot. Like if you ever hear a girl saying like she's dating a producer, I'm like, oh my god, your secret garden is probably platinum. You are probably radiating, okay? I'm just saying,
really
that's like
cabbage.
Damn. I'm trying to eat these neatly. It's so hard. I'm sorry. So there's a guy by the name of Blake Leibel, and Blake he wasn't a born and raised Los Angelino. He actually was born and raised in Toronto, and he grew up in a very wealthy family. This comes into play a little bit later. His dad is like this massive Toronto-based real estate developer. I'm talking millions, 8 figures, bitch, okay? Like he's in the 2-comma game. That's a lot of commas.
8 figures, tens of millions.
Oh yeah, tens of millions, 2 commas bits, okay? And so he decided instead of saying in snowy Toronto, he's gonna move all the way to sunny Los Angeles because that's where he wants his artistic energy to flow. Like, you know, all that hashtag Melrose Avenue. Like he wants to be a creative person. So he moves and he starts using his dad's and his parents' money to kind of fund his entire career, whether it's like small TV shows, a comic book. Like he didn't do any like massive things, but because his parents were already wealthy, he was kind of living the life of like a producer who done made it, you know?
Okay.
He has a brother who also lives in LA. Funny thing, actually, you know the movie Molly's Game? The one with the high-stakes poker locals game in LA with a bunch of like actors, actresses, mafia, super illegal, underground poker game. His brother by the name of Cody actually was one of the regulars for the Molly's Game. Very interesting stuff. That also is pertinent to the story in a little bit, but essentially Blake, the film producer, Cody, he actually used his parents' money to start his own business. He had a music label, and he was a lot flashier than his counterpart brother Blake. Cody was the one that was driving these rare Ferraris. He was always spending his money. He was always around just plethora of women. Like you would just think it's like a Forever 21 around him because there are just so many girls around him. It's crazy. So him and his brother Cody, they both live in LA now, and both of their parents live in Toronto. Well, the dad, the mom passed away at this point, and they're not like your typical brothers. Well, I'm not exactly sure
what typical brothers do. would you?
Fancy Ferraris.
You know what I mean? I don't understand why people flash their money because it's like you're not gonna have them if you keep doing that.
I'm sorry, I'm
Maybe
so
you will,
hungry
but
right
it's just
now.
like you could have more if you invest. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm gonna get into this pork sausage. It's so good.
My mouth is tired. I'm sorry if you saw food, but I don't.
Now at this point, Blake's life kind of plays out like your stereotypical, I don't mean to generalize, but this is Ghana, movie producer. He dates a lot of attractive women. I'm talking models, very beautiful women. He's been divorced. He's on to the next. He has multiple houses. He's got a lot of women around him because he's got a lot of cash. And like, I don't know, maybe he has a stunning personality. I'm not sure, right? But here's what doesn't play like your regular Hollywood love story, okay? It's the fact that his newly engaged, newly just had a motherfucking baby girlfriend at the time was viciously murdered in his apartment in West Hollywood, and he had barricaded himself into that apartment with his murdered ex-girlfriend by himself. It just doesn't make sense, right? Like, none of this adds up. And then he says that, like, the true killer and somehow the Russian mafia gets involved because his girlfriend is from Ukraine. It gets really crazy. We're just gonna get into it, but let me get him some nudes. He says he wants some nudes. This is good, right? Maybe he needs more beef, too.
Thank you.
Meat always cures the soul. Oh, I like the basil, though. Like vegetables.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. 2006, he meets his first wife. I'm just gonna kind of give you the story of his life before we get the Russian mafia involved because that's a thick ass story. So he meets his first wife in 2006. She's a beautiful model. They quickly fall in love. They quickly get married, and she quickly gets pregnant. Okay.
People in Hollywood move fast, huh?
Okay, the reason why I said I guess is because my beautiful is not like everybody else is beautiful. She just look kind of regular. Like, she's pretty, but I wouldn't be like drop dead gorgeous, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be like, I understand why she's a model. You know what I mean? But that's just me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry to the dead, because she is dead. But it's like, I'm the type of person that it's like, I'm gonna say how I feel regard. Like, I mean, because I would want, if I died, I would want people to say how they feel about me and not be like, oh, well, she's dead. I'm not gonna. No, say how you feel. Talk. Talk that shit. Say how you feel. Like, I don't know.
Now, they had a home in Beverly Hills that they were living in together, and he decided to move out and move straight into the West Hollywood condo that he had purchased for him and his girlfriend, Yana.
Wow.
But Yana's pretty.
What about the first baby?
Left it.
What?
So he just left his kid.
That I don't understand. How do you just leave your baby?
See, he was white. See, that just proved that black men are not the only men that leave their kids. And he had money. So, for that stereotype, bitch, rich white men do too.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. I don't know. It's funny.
So he left the house to the first wife. Is that all he left her?
And they're currently in the middle of a divorce.
currently.
Well, now at that point it was around 2015. Now 2015 he moves in with Yana, and he had been seeing her a while, even though while he was married. But the entire time that they met, she's from Ukraine. She immigrated here, and she was born and raised in Ukraine, and she just fell in love with LA. She came and she became a tax attorney, and she wanted to learn and become a translator, right? And that was her goal. She meets Blake, movie producer, everything about him. He's so good to her. He's so nice to her. He's always flying around the world on trips, you know, paying for lavish things, bought her a really expensive Mercedes. I mean, this was the man of her dreams, right? And so Yana falls in love. They move in together in West Hollywood. And the entire time that they've been dating, he's been telling her, like, listen, I'm in the middle of a divorce. Or he's already gotten divorced. Sometimes his stories would change. And so she really thought, like, this is the man for me. He ends up proposing. They end up getting engaged. And she quickly wants to have a child.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so did they ask him, do he want kids? Or they just assuming he got money so he want kids?
Every time I hear stories like this, I just think of the Japanese man. There's a Japanese guy, I think he's the biggest father in the world. Not like the biggest, but like I think he has like babies all over the world. Like he has baby mamas all over the world.
Really?
I think it's he's a billionaire. Oh. He's a billionaire's son, but I mean he's still a billionaire.
Wow. Is he taking care of
We're
the
not even
girls?
in the same country. I'm gonna get pregnant by you. I'll be so sad.
I think like money-wise, but I think he just visits when he's in the country. You know, popping by for some business.
Popping by. I was just in Australia. Thought I should pop by and see my son.
Try sons and daughters around the world.
You know, like the moment that I felt like I made it was when I got 2 bathrooms and I can afford to put toothpaste in both. That's when I was like, nah, let me just sit back. Like that's when I was like, you can't touch this. They quickly get pregnant and she gives birth to a daughter. So this is Blake's 3rd child and his 2nd baby mama. But at this point in his life, there's a lot more going on than just children.
Yeah. I'm sorry if y'all don't see really nothing going in my mouth.
It was starting to develop this really intense paranoia because
the food. And I'm OD.
I guess rich people talk, and he had heard from word of mouth, word on the streets of West Hollywood was that his brother Cody, who was gambling in the Molly's game, he had actually started owing. He was indebted to a Russian mafia gangster because he had lost on the tables and he had lost big. And allegedly it was to the tune of $1 million. So this guy starts to get nervous. Blake is like, listen, Cody, this is what happens when you F with Russian people. They don't come and kill you, Cody. No, no, no. They kill your loved ones. And guess who they think you love? Me, your brother. So they're probably going to kill me and be like, see what I did, Cody? I killed your brother. Now give me your money. You're never going to get killed because that's how they get paid, right? So he's starting to get riled.
That's smart though. Be like, well, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your family because if I kill you, who's gonna pay me? That doesn't mean do it. No. It's smart because I don't understand how people owe people money. It's kind of sad too because it's like my mama didn't owe you money, so like leave her out of this. You know what I mean? Or my brothers didn't owe you money, so leave them out of this. My sisters didn't owe you money, so leave them out of this. My cousin didn't owe you money, so leave them out of this. But it's kind of smart because it's like, Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Oh, no Russian man, no money, right? And And he just starts to get paranoid. Everywhere he's going, he's like, oh my god, is the Russian mob tailing me? Like, is the Russian mafia here? Like, he's just starting to really get all up in his head about it. Whether these are legitimate, it's still yet to be proven. Nobody knows for sure if Cody allegedly owed these mobsters money, but that was just word on the street. So he starts getting paranoid of that. And now where does he use his paranoid energy? Does he go take self-defense classes? Does he go try to team up with the, I don't know, LA Mafia? No, bitch. He decides to go meet a new girlfriend by the name of Constance and buy her this really fancy home nearby in West Hollywood, and he would just bounce back and forth between the girls' houses. I don't know. Maybe in his head it was like, ooh, like this way I'll be safe. They'll never know which house I'm at.
Or you could have just bought 2 houses.
Yeah.
I mean, what's worse? One guy that gambles everything away, the other guy just
Spends it on business.
engaging with every woman, popping babies everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know who's worse.
Yeah, if you guys had to pick your poison, what would it be?
Who would you pick?
Gambler?
You would pick the gambler? That he just loses everything and in debt to mafia?
I don't know, I just can't, well, I can't imagine staying with either, but I don't think I can really imagine, like, I don't think I'm cut out to be a baby mama.
So, one is a cheater, right?
Yeah.
The other one's a criminal. Is it a criminal?
Yeah, gambling's
guess.
illegal.
I guess.
Well, Molly's game was illegal.
Alright, sure. So he's a gambler. He's a freaking... Right?
It's so gross, I'm so sorry. That was so gross. That was probably the grossest thing I've ever done on camera. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. What would you rather date?
Watching people eat white stuff on camera, so I know you guys are like, ew.
Really?
Yeah.
I could never be a baby mama. Not because I have like so much self-respect, but because I'm like so jealous that I would honestly drive myself crazy.
The other one, your life is in danger.
Oh, because the Russian mafia?
Yeah, like you're in debt. If you're $1 million in debt, yeah, you don't expect to live a regular. Just going to the grocery store today.
Really?
Yeah, what if they kidnap you?
Okay, yeah. I'll just take the cheater. You know? Ooh. Things are bad in Blake's life, okay? His career at this point, he's rich, he's loaded, he's got a ton of money, he doesn't have to worry about that. But his career really isn't taking off. It's not shooting through the stars. This ain't no Avengers Endgame. This ain't no Avengers nothing, bitch. It ain't even DC. It's just not, he's not in the box office. It's not where he wants to be in life. Now, his love life is getting complicated too because Constance is like, when are you gonna have a baby with me? Yada, yada, yada. And then he keeps going back and forth. He thinks the Russian mafia is after him. But it all kind of pinnacles together. It all climaxes, meets at the point on the night that he was arrested in his own home that he had purchased for Constance in West Hollywood. So she had called the cops and she said that, hello, this man by the name of Blake Leibel, he sexually assaulted me in his home in West Hollywood and I don't know what to do about it. So the police come, they immediately arrest him, he's taken to jail and no formal charges were pressed, so it kind of seemed like Constance had backed out of it. Whether, like, there's a lot of conspiracy about, like, why she had done this or why she called the police, whether it was actually sexual assault, which I believe it was because we'll get into that at the end. Like, if you just hear this part.
This is his house.
Yeah, but if you just hear this part and not the ending, you'll think, like, oh, she's shady. But then, like, once I heard the ending, I was like, oh, he's shady a little bit, you know?
Alright.
And then the other reason is some people are like, oh, maybe she was jealous that he wasn't leaving Yana, his girlfriend.
She knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
Next time I do
And Yana didn't know about it, but she was gonna find out because he was arrested and he needed her to bail her out of jail. So she comes to jail, she bails him out, and she's so upset. I mean, she has like a month-year-old daughter at home. He's nowhere to be found. He's always out on business. Come to find out, you're out with another woman in a house that I didn't even know you had? And the house is a lot nicer than the condo.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Upgrading his girlfriend at his house. Wow.
But she didn't know that from the wife.
That's
like,
where he messed up.
they never talk.
Should have gotten shittier.
She don't have a conversation with the wife.
When I was working in jewelry, there was a lot of couples who would come in. And the girls specifically, they didn't care about the ring. They don't care about anything. It just has to be a little bit more expensive than the last wife's ring. Doesn't matter. Put anything on my finger. just gotta be more expensive than what he got his first wife. So Yana bails him out of jail. Now this is where I kind of have differing feelings with Yana, is the fact that she decides this is unacceptable, right? He cheated on her, they just had a newborn, so she's gonna try to make this relationship work. And by doing so, she actually had her mom come from UK to live in the United States. She, using Blake's money, she purchased her or rented her an apartment nearby in West Hollywood, and she asked her to keep the baby there full time because she wanted to just focus on her and Blake and having the baby there. It was weird because it seemed like Blake was growing distant from his own daughter. So she was like, take my firstborn, take my daughter, because I need to focus on my love relationship right now. Which, how do you guys feel about that?
About what?
That she did that.
I think that's kind of messed up because it's like, I think that's kind of messed up because it's like, why would you distance yourself? Why would you, I don't know, like, because if my baby was a month old, I don't think I could leave her with my mama for forever. Like, what do you mean? For full time? No. None of that. I need her to be beside me. I freak out and I'm upset when I don't see my cousin Messiah for a long time. So imagine if I don't see my own child. You know what I mean?
You know, a newborn mother gives her daughter away so that she could focus on her relationship with her husband.
Like, I think he just doesn't want kids. What do you think? He just doesn't want
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But I mean, I get where she's coming from in the fact that, like, she thinks maybe, like, if they work on their relationship together, the rest of the kid's life will be better having loving parents in the same house. But at the same time, I can't imagine having a kid and then being like, here, mom, just take my kid. Meanwhile, like, here, mom, take my dogs.
Really? It's not like that? Like in Asia? That's why I'm kind of like half raised by my grandparents. Grandparents a lot of time grandparents help raise the kid. Is it not like that?
It is, but usually, like, in the same house.
Yeah.
They, like, move in or something. The noodles are good. They're getting whiter. I feel like they're soaking up the juice. Ooh. Neat.
Her teeth look so white on camera. Hold on.
Her mom takes the kid, and her relationship with Blake is going downhill from now. And it's not even the fact that she caught him cheating. He got arrested for it. It was the fact that, like, he was just becoming growingly more aggressive. Like, he demanded all this sexual activity from her immediately. And meanwhile, she was recovering from a C-section. So it was incredibly painful for her. It was actually told not to do certain things. And he was like, well, I want you to do it, so freaking do it, or I'm going to leave you for another woman. Like, he literally threatened her, saying the words of, I'm going to leave you for another woman.
So he big balls bold. He big balls bold.
So he left her with another house.
Maybe he put in a nuka. Maybe it's a hotel.
That's so sad.
Actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to understand Yana. Get in.
Why?
Because they have like this hotel style lock where you can only lock it from the inside. So this means a couple of things. There is someone in the apartment. More noodles? Like them nudes? Are you sick, bro?
A lot of time we eat it on the street. It's like a street food. They actually stir fry it.
My fingers are
with,
freezing.
like, veggies and
Because I'm eating like
really
vegetables and
Interesting, because
vegetables.
like when I try to get these in Korea, they didn't have them at the Korean market, so my dad had to take me to the Chinatown in Seoul.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
and it was a
You guys
Chinese
don't cook
person
at these,
selling
right?
it. No, but he speaks
Soup too. Sorry.
Bits. And he speaks fluent Korean. And the only reason that I knew he was Chinese is like a Chinese girl walked in and she was saying like jaga, jaga, and then they were talking in Mandarin, and then I was like, oh my god, he's from China.
Was his Korean perfect?
Better than mine. But there was a slight accent, but I thought it was like, hey! They finally get into the apartment and the door won't open, so they start freaking out. Yana's mom, she was forced to be outside of the apartment building, waiting in the front, like outside on the street, because they didn't want her near the door. And so they decide, hey, let's bust this bitch open. So they do the cool little, law and order, break through the door, and once they get inside, immediately they knew shit was going down, because the living room was messy. Now, it was messy in a way that was completely normal. If you lived like that, it's fine. They're not judging you, but this is what was alarming. All of the bedroom doors were closed shut, and when they tried to open the closest one, which was the guest bedroom, it was barricaded from the inside. So they couldn't access it for some reason.
What do you mean?
Like, it looked like something had been pushed up against it. So then they could only open it a peek. They push it open, and weirdly enough, I mean, there's a little bit of blood here and there, but there wasn't anything alarming. And there was nobody inside. Very weird.
Yeah, how did the thing get blocked?
Exactly. And then the next thing that they decide to do is try to look for the master bedroom. So then they try to open up the master bedroom, and they can see through the crack that it's being barricaded by a mattress.
That doesn't make sense, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
How can you barricade like multiple rooms?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. How did you get out? How did you barricade all the rooms and get out to barricade?
Well, I could think of a couple ways.
How?
Rope. Hmm?
Seriously?
Under the door.
What's the point? So weird.
Mm-hmm. But if you told me, like, hey, I'll give you $100 if you somehow find a way to do it, I feel like I would rope it.
True.
Mm. So good.
I'm gonna go celery. I'm done with my carrots. I'm kind of upset about that now.
And then they heard someone talking from the other side of the door with the mattress in front of it. And it was the voice of Blake Leibel, who the police have been actually trying to get in contact with since Yana's mother had called them, because they're like, okay, listen, if we're trying to get into his apartment, it's better if we have the owner's permission, yada, yada, yada. And he had never picked up, returned any of their calls. They left voicemail saying it's urgent, get in contact, West Hollywood PD, nothing. Darkness. They never heard back from him. But suddenly, he's talking from the other side of the door, and he's now barricading himself. So they find this to be extremely alarming. Is he holding Yana hostage? Is he trying to hurt her? What's going on in there? So they finally actually convince a friend of his who he was on the phone with at the time that they were breaking in. He was on the phone. Blake was on the phone with a friend of his.
Okay,
and
about what?
like, just like, the police are here, right? And the friend had convinced him, dude, surrender, surrender. So he finally pushes the mattress aside, opens the door, and he has both hands in the air, and he's just wearing his boxers. And the police immediately arrest him, because when he opened that door all the way, they saw something, and it was not good. They saw on the walls that there had been blood, and it looked like it had tried to be cleaned off, but it wasn't in the process of being finished. It was kind of smeared about. You could see handprints, you could see all of that.
Yeah.
And they find in the bed, Yana was lying there. Now, she had this Mickey Mouse blanket covered all the way up to her chin, but when they undid the blanket, I mean, they said this was one of the most horrific murders that they'd seen in a really long time. In West Hollywood. I mean, LA has a lot of crime.
What happened?
I mean, he just did a lot of crazy stuff to her. Like, this was a long, painful, torturous death. It was not murder. It was very slow, very manipulated.
What? So he has problems? Why?
Oh, why? No one knows.
Manipulated in the sense that, like, you know, you always read those scary stories of, like, serial killers who want your death to last long.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. And she had fought back. He had bruises and scratches all over his body.
Okay. So he did it.
Or did he?
Okay.
So then Blake immediately gets arrested. Now, when he's taken to the police station and he's just in his boxers, before they even process him, they take his arrest photo. And this is the creepiest photo I've ever seen in my life because he's literally in the corner of this police room and he's smiling. He's smiling. And that's so creepy to me. Like, when guys smile in, like, really unnecessary situations, I get really creeped out. When anyone smiles when they shouldn't be smiling, I get creeped out. Which is unfortunate because I'm a smiler. I'm an awkward smiler. If you tell me something really sad, I might smile. Not because I think it's funny, but because I'm so uncomfortable. But this was kind of like a joyous, like, tell me more about what happened to her, you know, type of smile. It was just very, very, right? So he's smiling at the arrest picture. They start questioning him and they say, why would you do such a thing? Why did you barricade yourself if you're innocent? What's going on? Yada, yada, yada. How did this happen, right? Because it's one thing to say, oh, I didn't do it, but then you have to explain how you ended up in the bedroom with her body and then put a mattress on the door. Like, you've got to explain something. You can't give the police nothing. And the one thing that he kept saying is, science will prove it all. Science will show you who did it. Science this, science that. So then the police are like, you want to look at the science? You want to look at the facts? Let's go, dude, right? So the first thing that they see is his pair of pants that they had put into evidence. Now, his pants looked like they were ready to go, ready to be put on. Inside of it was a passport and $4,000 in cash. So this to the police seemed like, okay, he was probably trying to clean up the blood, take her body, go back to Canada so he couldn't get arrested. And then the second thing is when the crime scene investigators went into that condo, they said the first thing that they realized is the lack of blood. Because they kept hearing from all the police officers, because all that they've been hearing from the police officers is this is brutal, this is the grossest murder they've ever seen, but where's the blood? This is weird, right? So they do the light technology and they see that everything lit up. I mean, it was scary in there. The living room, the guest bedroom, the bathroom, like the entire bathroom floor was lighting up bright because there had been blood that had been cleaned that is invisible to the naked eye there. In the bedroom, I mean, there is just so much blood that it was so disturbing for everybody who saw this. But where is the evidence that he cleaned the blood? Like, where he had to have cleaning tools, paper towels, all of that jazz. So then they realized that the apartment door, so every level on this apartment building's units, like the third floor, the second floor, the fourth floor, they all have their own trash chute. Like one of those things that you pull down and you throw trash into and it goes into the garage. And so then they're like, okay, but what we noticed is that their unit is right next to the trash chute. So the easiest thing would be him to just throw the trash away. So they stop the trash. They go through about 11 bags of trash, and in one of those trash bags, they find bloody bed sheets. Now, this is so important because on those bloody blood sheets, it wasn't just blood. It wasn't just a lot of blood, which it was, but it was the fact that there was literally a clear set of handprints on the blood.
Shit.
And these handprints, it was so important because one of the hands
It's missing a finger.
is missing a finger.
Oh.
They look at Blake's hands, and he's missing a finger.
Oh my
He's always been
God.
missing part of his right finger's pinky.
Oh,
And so they go, listen, you might as well have signed your name and said, I done did this. Okay, I produced this murder because what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah.
And he keeps saying, no, it was probably this, it was probably that. It wasn't your brother Cody. It wasn't the Russian mobs. It wasn't anything. It was literally you, dude. No one was framing you. So they completely arrest him, and now he has to go to trial.
Yeah.
So once he's in trial, this is where it gets weird. He had no drugs, no alcohol in his system. So what drove this man who has no criminal background, no physical history of being a crazy person? Like, literally everybody who knew him never would say that, like, oh, we think he's psychotic. Like, this isn't the situation like the other story that I told where he's directing like these crazy horror movies. Like, sometimes he will write about scary things, but he's not someone that's so obsessed with like death, you know?
Yeah.
So it's weird. What would come over someone like that? He literally had no motive. He wouldn't get money out of it. They weren't married. He wouldn't like lose money in a divorce settlement. There was just no reason for any of this. And so trial happens. That's what the attorney presents. Like, oh, he just was a psychotic person. He lost it. He snapped, but he's not mentally ill. Blah, 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 blah. The defense comes back, blah, blah. Honestly, it was just a bunch of nonsense. And then finally, the jury takes 3 hours jurors to convict him guilty of first-degree murder, and he will be sitting in a California jail for the rest of his life without the possibility of parole. So here is the weird thing, though.
Okay.
The really crazy thing, and I hope that this all works out in the end, because now the dad is in jail. They have a daughter.
Yeah.
The mother has been murdered by the dad. And now you just have Yana's mother trying to raise this granddaughter of hers. And Yana's one wish, the one thing that she loved in life so much, was to be in a very strong country. Like, she loved the United States. She said it was so different from the Ukraine, and her one thing was, I want to raise my baby here. And so Yana's mom actually reaches out to the Leibel family, which is Blake's family, the multi-millionaires who own so much shit, and they won't even send her 1 penny of child support. Not even 1 penny. And so even though her daughter's last wish was for her kid to be raised in the United States, Yana's mom had to bring her back to Ukraine to raise her because she doesn't have money and she can't get a job in the U.S. So she is suing the Leibels for, like, I forgot what it was, wrongful death suit, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'll keep you guys updated. But
crazy.
And
So,
then, yeah.
do people believe it's him? People do believe it's him. But it was so weird.
But nobody knows why.
Right? That's the weird part. What's the motive? What's the reason? That's so strange.
I mean, there is, like, a handful of people on Reddit who don't think it's him and think he got framed by the mafia, that he woke up and someone had barricaded all of these things.
And framed him on him.
And framed it in such a way where he literally cannot deny it because he'll sound stupid.
That's so scary.
Yeah, because, like, imagine it's one thing to be like, oh my god, and then it's another thing to be like, well, actually, see, I think the Russian mafia, they put ropes around the mattress, I woke up in my boxers, and, like, suddenly, you know.
I mean, I just don't, like, what is his plan? If he did it, then what was the plan?
So, like, the motive that some people are trying to put onto this for why he did it is, like, they're trying to say that he couldn't take no for an answer. He's very aggressive. He was getting aggressive with Yana, and maybe she said no for the first time, and he was upset. Maybe she was threatening to leave him, and he got upset. But then on the other hand, people are saying, like, this guy, he's jumping from woman to woman. He left his first wife with a Beverly Hills house, probably lost money in the divorce settlement. Why would he risk everything when he could just leave Yana?
Right.
Just like he left his first wife.
Yeah. How's the brother doing?
I mean, the brother's just fine. You know. He's probably in, like, Sally's game now, you know. I don't know. You guys leave it in the comments. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he did it? Do you think he didn't do it?
Do y'all think he did it? Do y'all think he didn't do it? Oh, I will link the video down in the description below. I don't think I talked a lot in this video. I don't think I had a lot of conversation. Talk about. I don't really know how to go because this story was so crazy. But I didn't even feel like I needed to talk. I didn't feel like I needed to have conversation. I didn't feel like I needed to. I didn't think I needed to. I think. Shoot, that's the man. But y'all know me. I'm at Clear Rings. Okay, what's good? Okay. But like I always say, in all of my videos, you'll see me in the next video, and I'm gonna see you when I see you, and that's a motherfucking wrap. And y'all can comment down below what y'all think. But I don't even know how to be energetic after listening to that story, yo. Y'all just, bruh. Comment what y'all comment, bruh, 'cause boy knows. And bang.